With episode 5 of Gen V recently concluding and containing the massive revelation of Cate being the individual that's behind the memory wiping, this next episode is something which is most certainly going to be focusing on the divide in the group and us seeing their trust getting put to the test. With the preview at the end of episode 5 promising a surprise guest in episode 6, Soulja Boy, I thought I'd give my theories and predictions on the episode and explain how and why Soulja Boy could be making an appearance. So let's get into it. Here is Gen V Episode 6 Theories and Predictions Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Soulja Boy's appearance. So it's clear to see that Soulja Boy is going to be returning to the show in some capacity in the next episode. He even has a speaking role, so we know that he could have a significant focus in the story. It got me wondering how it's possible for him to even make an appearance considering what happened to him at the end of Season 3 of The Boys. So personally, I think there are a couple of different theories and options about how he's going to feature and the role that he's going to play. The first theory is that based on the photo and the clip that we saw, it's clear to see that Soulja Boy is standing in front of the woods. This could be the outdoor type of woods or the facility. For example, it could be the wall that's in the facility that has the trees in the background that we saw when Sam was first thrown in there. But due to the color and the vibrancy that it had, it could be earlier on, so it could be some kind of flashback. As now, due to time passing by, the walls look grey and slightly more discoloured. So it could be some kind of flashback where Soulja Boy was originally part of the development plan of the woods. This is something that is likely, but I don't think it's the most likely option. Another theory is that we know that it looks as though the group are going to try and take over the woods and expose it for what it actually is. And later on in the trailer, it looked as though Jordan was stood in the facility hallway where there's previously been a bloodbath, and they said, "We're gonna make this right for Luke." With Shetty and Cardosa knowing that there's probably a large threat with the group looking to expose it, and also Ashley probably being made aware of it, we could see Soulja Boy being decanted and programmed to protect the woods. Something which they need, considering that every time that somebody's gone down there, there's been an utter bloodbath. So they may put their trust in Soulja Boy to protect it. What could be very interesting is seeing Sam and Soulja Boy facing off against one another. Their powers are so similar, and we know that Sam is an extremely powerful individual too. So seeing the face-off against one another would be incredible to watch. There are some theories out there about Sam and Soulja Boy being related, and whilst that could be the case, I don't think the show is going to turn into long-lost families. The final theory that I've got on Soulja Boy making an appearance is that it might not even be him at all. We were deliberately shown a Soup in the most recent episode who was able to take the form of people and also be a shapeshifter. This individual took on the form of Rufus, and it was uncanny. We know that Shetty is working with students such as Cate and maybe even Rufus. What if she's also working with this individual who's just going to take on the form of Soulja Boy? To be honest, it's one that's quite likely, considering that we know the state that Soulja Boy was in at the end of Season 3. So it will be interesting to see if that's also the case, putting a form of Soulja Boy there to act as a threat. So there are definitely a couple of strong reasons as to how the character could be introduced to this show. I'm just excited to see how it does eventually end up happening. At least we know that it definitely is. Cate's separation from the group. Judging by the preview that we saw, it very much seems as though Andre is going to be the most hurt by Cate's actions, as it doesn't seem as though he's going to forgive her for wiping everybody's minds and taking it over. Considering that they were together, and so soon after Luke's death, that kind of makes sense. I feel like this could be something which could change the course of the character of Andre. We know that he's an individual that's a true hero and believes in good, rather than just the image of a hero, something which differentiates him from a lot of other people, especially his father and his father's views. In the trailer, it looked as though there was a clip where he was almost having a vision of Luke being stood in front of him. So the upset and betrayal that he was feeling may make him feel like Cate was responsible for the death of his best friend, something that will probably add to the fact that he can't look past it. Or the figure in the white cloak could have been Cardosa, most likely explaining to him how Cate was involved. He could be trying to get Andre to turn on her even more. It very much seems as though with the rest of the group having their memories back inside of their minds and being fully aware of the woods again, they're going to look to carry on with their plan of exposing the woods for the facility that it is and the experiments that they're doing. With Cate being an individual that's been working alongside Shetty and ensuring that people's memories are wiped, I feel we could see more of her involvement in assisting her, maybe putting the patients under some kind of mind control in order to keep them calm, which in turn could make her more of a key player in the woods. I think we're going to be seeing Cate reflecting on her own actions and regretting the fact that she was involved, as she's quite literally going to be on her own. There was a scene where Cate had blood coming from her eyes whilst she was laying in bed, something which usually happens when she uses her powers too much. So I wonder if she's going to be trying to use her powers on herself to try and make her forget all of the pain that she's put people through. Or if that's going to be from utilizing the powers and giving everybody their memory back. Andre is definitely hurt by what Cate did, and the fact that Cate was a part of it is something that he's not going to be taking into consideration when it comes to exposing the woods, almost being fine with throwing her under the bus. The taking over of the woods. The whole plot of this show is very much centered around the group exposing the woods and the experiments that are being run on the students of Godolkin, and other soups that are being captured and taken there. Within the preview, it seems as though they're going to be successful in making it down into the woods, and with Jordan saying, "We're gonna make it right for Luke," and it looking like they were releasing the doors to the cells that were down there, I wonder if they're going to set the soups free. With Marie also saying at the start of the trailer, "If we do this, then there's no going back," it makes me feel as though they're almost just going to ambush it with the intention of trying to take it over, knowing that there's nowhere to hide after doing it. With 3 or maybe 4 soups versus the guards and Shetty, there's probably no chance of the guards being able to stop them, especially with Marie being one of the most powerful that Cardosa had ever seen. This is something which might seem right at the time due to giving the soups the freedom that they deserve, but at the same time it might prove to be a bad thing, in the sense that we know that Cardosa has been working on a virus to control the soups. Obviously, he's not been 100% successful in doing it yet. So what if when they're released, something does get spread around the soups, something that might have more fatal consequences? Within the main trailer for the show, we were shown the condition that some of the individuals were in, and what looks like the side effects of being experimented on, so it could prove to be deadly and fatal for the people in the university, something which they won't be able to take back. The development of Marie's powers. With us hearing about how powerful Marie is from Dr. Cardosa, and us also seeing Marie using an arm to her power that she's only really just discovered, the exploding of blood from underneath an individual's skin, I feel we're going to be seeing her working on that in the next episode. It seems as though Marie is going to be doing something with her powers, and I feel this is going to be on Emma. I think this because in the trailer, Emma was saying, "Whoa," as if there was some kind of reaction. Then Marie went on to say, "What if it kills her?" And Andre said, "Just do something." This was then followed by Sam fighting with Andre again. The only person Sam would stick up for at the moment is Emma, so I feel something is definitely going to go down there. Maybe it's to do with the trackers inside of them, and Emma's could be somewhere fatal if it were to be extracted. I think all of this is connected because in the trailer, even though the clips were all separate, it looks as though it's happening at the same time and in the same room. There are many different directions that the next episode of the show could go in. I'm excited to see the return of Soldier Boy and how the dynamic of the group is going to change now that Cate is most likely not going to be a part of it. Bring on the next episode. So, there you have it. Gen V Episode 6 Theories and Predictions Explained. If you want to see more videos such as Endings Explained, Theories and Predictions, and Character Breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think will happen next? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.